Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester, and I'm glad to hear on this Monday morning. August is here. To me, the hottest month of the year. Here it is. So we're going to jump into it both feet and keep on going. So we got all kind of interesting things and good fun things coming up in August. So just hang in there with us, and we'll share them with you, and you share your stuff with us, and we'll all be happy outdoors people. Our weather brought to us by Drew Pollard, the Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. They're doing a great job over there. They're busy. They're real busy right now, but they're doing a good job. So we're going to have a high today of 88, a low of 78. So not much variance right there. Water temperature staying at 86 degrees off the end of the pier. Our Monday moon phase, and right now we had a beautiful full moon last week. We got a new moon on the 8th, okay, August the 8th. We have a new moon. The full moon this month will be on August the 22nd. So take a look at that. Got the August moon now pretty strong. So in fact, we had a fishing boat here in Bay County called the August Moon. I need to look up the history of it, how they got the name the August Moon, but interesting story, I'm sure. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Take a look at the August tide chart. In fact, let's take a look at this a second. Today is August the 2nd, and decent tide is a lot better than a weekend. We have a high tide at 4:49 this morning. Is going out. It's going to be low this afternoon at 4:03. But overall, look at the whole month of August. We've got this week is strong tides. Next week is okay, and then strong, then real weak. So you got the same pattern. But the last weekend of August is not going to have any tidal flow. So if you're planning some fishing time and all, I look at this, and I remember Captain Roy and I used to talk about it, and we'd talk plan a trip next week. He said, "Wait, let me look at it and call you back." And he'd call me back. He said, "Well, Thursday and Friday would be a good morning." And what he and I were talking about, that was the tides. We were just going by that. So that's why we do a tide chart on a regular basis here on Panhandle Outdoors. Wind direction becoming west-southwest at about, they're calling 10 to 20. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, and here we are the 1st of August, and I always like to do this, top 10 things to do, or top 10 this, or top 10 that. I just thought we've been conditioned to it, I think, way back in the days when I was a kid, looking at the top 10 football teams in the state, and then the top 10 in the nation. So I've always had my own list of top 10, and it's always been geared toward outdoors also. So here in August, I knew this with a chuckle in my heart, because there's so many things to do, you just sort of got to pick them out. But a lot of this is seasonal, and that's why I share them with you. And I know you have your own favorite things to do and all, but I'm just going to share you some things to do. The first thing I thought about in August, the late summer, is the number one is frog gigging. Now, this is not in order of priority. These are just things that popped up in my brain last night. So frog gigging, this is a great time of the year. Those frogs have been eating. They've been eating all summer, and they're fat and juicy. So those frog legs will be really good now. So that's one of them. And number two, the same thing on the saltwater side, crabbing. The crabs, really, honestly, they're really, really big right now. They're nice. And of course, the female, let them go, but the rest of them, they're good and healthy, been eating all summer. And then, of course, the number three I wrote down, king mackerel. The king mackerel fishing is, here it is. This weekend, we're looking forward to a big trip. King mackerel, they're biting all over the place right now. August, September are 2 big months. Number four, I wrote down amberjack. AJ season opened up yesterday. I know everybody don't get to go amberjack fishing, but if you get a chance to go, that is one of the strongest, if not the strongest fish that you will catch. I mean, as far as giving you a fight and just really making a huge sport out of it. Number five, and I've talked about this off and on during the summer, but flounder gigging is strong now. Late summer, early fall, flounder gigging is good. Number six, how about go and catch a mullet like we saw in our little video last week with J.B. Hillard and the Bent Rod Fishing Club. You can go catch those mullet, or you can go throw your cast net out. Mullet are getting right. Again, late summer, they've been, I know you're tired of me repeating it, but they have honestly been eating all summer, and they're really nice. That was number six. Number seven, fly fishing. Now, fly fishing, I've talked to some fly fishermen the last couple of days, and they've been aggravated because the rivers have been really high. and they really want us a little bit lower. And also, hopefully, our river's going to go down, and fly fishing is going to really pick up. Number 8, the trot line, go catfishing with the trot lines are going to be good this time of year. And another thing about trot lining, you're doing it at night when it's going to be cool, and you have to worry about the weather. And number 9, I mentioned this on Friday's show, fish one of these old ponds, we call them farm ponds, but now everybody's got a pond if you got any farm area. So any of these ponds are going to be good in the late summer. And number 10, and I put 2 asterisks by it, and I saved it. This is going to be my number 1, August. Kingfishing is 1, and number 2 is going to be scalloping. Okay, that's number 10 on my list, but number 1, that's I'll be doing stuff. 2 weeks from today, scallop season will be open up. So 2 weeks from today, we'll be doing this right here. Okay, and hopefully doing this. We want to do more of this than the swimming part. So I have no idea how many scallops are out there. I have no idea where the scallops are, but I can promise you I will. 2 weeks from today, I'll be letting you know what's going on as far as scallops. They're not doing the report anymore. So anyway, and if you are planning to go scalloping, it's interesting that opening on Monday. I'm a big fan of that. To get away from that, the weekend is going to be crazy, so I'm going to hit it hard during the first few days of it, and then let some other folks have it on Saturday and Sunday of that first weekend. But it's going to be interesting, and go ahead now. Go ahead and check your mask and snorkel. Go ahead and check your fins. Look for little cracks in them, whatever. Believe me, I'm speaking from experience. You don't want to wait till the night before you go and say, "Oh no, my fin's got a crack in it." That rubber deteriorates, and as you know, over the years, and especially if you don't use them on a regular basis, and I just use mine now in during scallop season. So go ahead and check. I've already checked mine, honestly, but go ahead and check and make sure all your equipment's ready. And you've seen me talk about the little Hawaiian sling, a little what I call a poke pole. Make sure that rubber around it, is in good shape. In fact, those things need replacing every year or two, really. So, and you can check all those things out ahead of time. So scallop season, and also remember, it's 2 gallons a person. How many people going to be on your boat and all? So it's usually now, over the years we used to have boatloads, and right over the past few years it's just 2 of us, Scale and I. So on my 5-gallon bucket, I got it marked right at 4 gallons. So when we get our limit, hopefully we'll get our limit, and we'll have that marked. So all those little things getting ready for scallop season. Go ahead and plan. I know if some of y'all just like to drive down. I tell you, the biggest problem we're going to see is going to be a big problem too. So many of us over the years have planned on, have gone to the state park and put our boat in there. Of course, the storm messed it up, but the state park is open there in St. Joe. But now they have such limited parking, and it's going to really be a tough situation as far as going in there. You're going to have to get there early, especially the early part of the season. You're going to have to get there really early if you plan to put in there. Your other choice is putting in at the city of Port St. Joe, and you put in, pay $10 and put in there. But then you gotta run across to the island. So anyway, just be aware and start getting your mindset for going scalloping. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look. I got a couple of pictures that come in, and I want to share them with you. And we'll have more during the week and all. But let's take a look at this first one right here. I'm telling you now, this is a pretty fish. John Canal sent this. The grandson of mine could teach the world to fish. Good job, Cade Walker. And that is a fine redfish right there. Good job. I know that was fun catching and releasing that one. Okay, here we go again now. This is coming up August the 14th and 15th, right around the corner. This big Flathead Tournament. Okay, it's going to be held, and kids under 16 can fish free. So it's going to be at Gaskin Park in Weewall, and it's going to be 2 to 4 p.m. is registration right there, and that's going to be. I'm going to try to get down there if I can. If I'm in town, I will. So anyway, this is a big deal. They're going to really have a good time fishing on a Saturday night. Okay, our buddy down there, Hal Webb, FWC Hal Webb, and this is one of the gratifying parts of his job. He rescuing injured animals. We've shown Hal before, and this is an osprey, and a concerned citizen saw him by the road, and they called up Hal, and he called him up, and he said this one. He said this bird was very compliant and very sweet, and so he took it to a local rehab center. So that's a good job, a great situation here. You see injured, you call FWC to call one of their guys up or girls, and they run up there and pick them up. So there you go. And sometimes they fight them. Really, see, he has his gloves. Sometimes they defend themselves and fight. But he said, well, Al, good job there. All right, and Tina Sanford, Rutherford, they're talking about a husband, Steve. He got the Grand Slam. He got a bluefish. He got a redfish. He got a trout and a flounder. And that's something to be proud of right there. All in one trip, the Grand Slam. And we're talking about fishing the East Point Bridge, and they're catching some trout right there in East Point. That's the bridge we're talking about fishing off of. And the last couple of days, the trout bite's been pretty strong. So good job there. All right, and if you do have a plane like this is a good way to decorate it. And I thought that was cool. All right, and I said I should take care of the pictures. One of the things I wanted to show you, I was talking about the top 10 list. I ran across this. It was, and this is my friends and my cousins up in Alabama. 10 things to do in Alabama. And I didn't make this list up. Now I found it, but I just cracked up when I saw it. I want to share it with you because my cousins and in-laws and all my friends in Alabama. Fun things to do in Alabama. Number 1, have a heat stroke. Number 2, get bit by a water moccasin. Number 3, sweat. Number 4, get sucked into a tornado. Number 5, run from wasps. Now these are realistic. If you've been up there, you know what I'm talking about. Have a fire ant farm. Then at the bottom there, run the air conditioner and heater in the same day. Fall into the stickers, okay, the sand spurs in your front yard. Watch your groceries melt from the grocery store to your house. And get a 2nd-degree sunburn, fist fight mosquitoes. I just thought that was interesting because that humidity and all in the South is just overwhelming at times. The same way in Georgia and Mississippi and Florida and all, and Gainesville and places like that. So anyway, I thought that was cute. Now I got a video coming up. We talk about going and fishing sometimes on the spur of the moment. I absolutely love to do that. And Thursday, Bill Allen called me after lunch, and we've been watching these afternoon thunderstorms, and they come in pretty strong, and he said, "You want to go fishing?" And we had talked about it earlier in the week and all. I said, I say this in the video, I'm gonna go and say it now. When someone asks me if I want to go fishing, I have a 2-word reply: heck yeah. And that's what I do. That's exactly what I say. Let's go. And so he called me up, and had another guy, a friend of ours, Greg Frith, wanted to go. So anyway, this video is unique because I'm going to show you this little 2.5-minute video of a fishing trip where we didn't catch any fish, and you're going to see why we didn't catch any fish. But and then we're going to talk about it. We'll run the video, and then we'll talk about exactly what happened because I want to share some really interesting things with you. I know it's a little small situation, but a lot of times this is what happens in the outdoors here in the Florida Panhandle. So we're going to, Jeff, let's run this video, then we'll come back. All right, folks, here we are at Bill Allen's house. Captain Bill Allen. Yeah. And we're taking Greg Frith.
There you go.
We've been talking about taking Greg fishing for how long?
That's a long time. Got some high class fishing.
Now he's famous because they named a building at Panhandle Credit Union the Greg Frith Building.
They should have.
And they paid for it with all the interest I paid in the 50 years I've been a member.
All the money you paid in, Will.
So we're going against our better judgment. It's really hot, and there's a storm back behind us, but we still...
Hottest day of the year. There's a huge thundercloud back here, and there's no tidal movement. But Bill, that's wanting to fish.
Bill called me about an hour ago, and he explained all this to me, and of course I knew it. I always, when they say, "You want to go fishing?" I have a 2-word response. Heck yeah! So here we are with no tide and hot weather.
Maybe back to the foot.
And all right, heading out of the canal. This is where all the rich folks live. I don't usually get to come up in here, but... Well, Greg, since you retired, buddy, what have you been up to?
Well, trying to go fishing twice a week at least.
I know.
What I hear, it's a little more than twice a week.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I started seeing pictures. You catching some fish, freshwater and saltwater.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of freshwater, a lot of bass fishing.
Down around Apalachicola or all of it?
No, Sand Hills, Appalach, yep, river, yep, all of the above.
Now we're the true fishermen here now, so he's gonna show us how to catch them.
Here we go. Look at Puppy.
There you
hey,
go.
Puppy.
There's plenty of dogs back here.
Look at that pretty dog.
That's a good puppy.
Look at there.
How we doing?
Yeah, there's plenty of dogs.
All right, folks, we just finished the quickest fishing trip I've ever been on. What happened, Greg?
Come up a storm. Bad storm.
It did come a bad storm. We got there, turned around, came back. Bill, have we ever done that? Well, I don't think we have.
I ain't done it too many times, but I should have.
Okay, I'm gonna show you what's going on because I tell you, we don't want to do what we tell you folks.
Got our attention.
The lightning here, this storm coming in here. But we headed back to the house. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at 6:58 to 8:58 this morning, and this afternoon 7:21 to 9:21. Now let's get back to our little video. First of all, we laughed about it because if you remember last week I talked about the neap tides. There was no tidal flow, and then we talked about the heat. Okay, so we were going to go Thursday afternoon. We were going to go in neap tides, hot as the dickens, and it was just, and chances of thunderstorms. So that really, but we just, we wanted to go. So you saw it in the video. How many times I've shown you a fishing trip where we didn't bring the fish back? But you saw what happened, and the reason I want to talk about it, I don't want to overplay it, but at the same time, this is, decision making in the outdoors is just critical. And when we got back to Bill's house, I actually called Gail, told her we didn't go, and of course she was glad. and so I said, I'm gonna run by, get us something for supper, some Sonny's barbecue. So and then that storm hit, and folks, it was lightning popping all over the place. And I'm saying, thank goodness we made that decision. So when you make a decision, the decision-making process is critical. But here's what we get lulled to sleep. That's what I wanted to share with you. We get lulled to sleep by looking on the radar here and seeing where the radar, well, it's going here to here. And what I want to show you, and we had Greg and Bill and myself, three pretty decent, experienced outdoorsmen, and looking at it, each one of us had our own ideas on what was going on. And I'm gonna try to draw this for you now. Let me here. I'm gonna say, let's see here. I want to change color, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not good at this, but I just want to try it. Okay. Here we are. We want to go fishing, so we're up in here. Okay, so we want to go fishing here. Okay, so we see the storm. Down. The storm is down in here. Okay, and the storm is south of us. Everything north. So the storm is going this way. The storm is going, and it stayed going from. It was going from east to west. Okay, so we saw that going on, and we were going to go north. Okay, so everything. We made a decision. Everything looks good. So Bill lives in the North Shore, so we're going out toward West Bay. So everybody know where we are. So we made a decision and go ahead, head out there. You see, Bill's got a nice boat, a good motor and everything. We felt comfortable. Well, okay. So here's what happened. Okay, so here's what happened. What happened? It made this little storm started making a protrusion and started growing out. It had a little protrusion coming from it. It kept, and instead of this part going this way, this part started going this way. Does that make sense? And you know what I'm talking about. So here we are. Now we're in the, okay, let me go back. We're in the blue. So we want to turn around and come back. And luckily we got back to Bill's house right here before the rest of it hit us. So I just wanted to sketch that out, maybe give you a bit. I can learn on visual stuff, but all honesty, I wanted to share this with you. I thought about it, and we started talking about the decision to go out there, we didn't get even quite the spot we wanted to fish, and we just kept looking back behind our shoulder and picking this back up again. I trust this, but don't bet your life on it. And because when we got back and the lightning started popping, it was all over the place. It was a vicious storm, and y'all been caught on Lake Seminole the same way, Choctahatchee Bay, the same kind of stuff happened. We've talked about it, but here we are, experienced outdoorsmen. We still think we were going to make the right decision, and we didn't. But we made the right decision to come back. So I just wanted to share that with you. So anyway, I've got several other things to talk about. Talked about too much. I want to let's jump into this weekend. I have a situation where we're going king mackerel fishing. We're going to spend the weekend down in Carabel, but we're actually going to stay on St. George Island. But here's a big deal for us this year. We're taking a different boat out, and you sort of shrug your shoulders. No big deal. It's a big deal to me because I'm comfortable fishing that old Grady White with my buddies. So we're taking an open go fast boat, and I'm a little apprehensive as to. I'm not scared, I'm just apprehensive as to what to expect because, we spend the whole day out there, all day Saturday and most of the day Sunday on that boat. And the thing about those center console boats, they're what I call go-fast boats. They'll have a little bit of a shade and a little bit of thing to get out of the weather, but it's not like that old Grady White where you can sort of hunker down in it. So, but we're making our game plan. We've been talking to them, and here's what we're going to do. As always, we're going to catch our live bait, or buy the live bait, either one. We're going to try both of them. We set our traps out and all that. But the big thing for us is catching good live bait. And one thing on a boat like this, we're going to be able to cover a little bit more territory than we did on the old Grady White. We're excited about it. I get excited about it every year. We get to see folks we see once a year. We didn't get to see them last year, so we're going to see the folks from South Georgia, the Tallahassee folks, and we honestly don't get a lot of folks up here in Panama City. I wish we did, and because it's such a fun thing. If you want to go ahead and register. It's a great cause, and I'll show you the spots that we fish. I'll show you the spots where we caught the biggest one that 5 years ago, won $10,000. I'll show you exactly where we caught them. So, and you know how to fish, so you can do it. So anyway, got all kinds of stuff coming up with that big sea quarter tournament this weekend, and after that, I'm gonna come back, catch my breath, and then go scalloping. Hopefully doing this. So August is not gonna be a bad month. Have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.